The following broadcast of Kung Fu Hot Dog comes to you from the mighty cleavage of Alana Pierce.
Oh, I do love the sound of spandex underwear being pulled back in the morning. But guess what, folks? This one is especially dedicated to John De La Rose, the very seething and coping YouTube content creator. I've got another name for the word content, but I can't say it on here. But if you think of Alyssa Makanta, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because apparently he's a guy that's opposed to or cornography, if you want to call it that, yet he uses AI or artistic images of beautiful women on his thumbnails. Or I don't know, because maybe it draws viewers in, but the guy's a fake Christian, supposedly has a restraining order against him from his wife or ex-wife, and I guess that's what people on the far left actually like to instigate. They're fakers, they're fake gamers, they get called out by real gamers like Mugen Lord, which was absolutely hilarious. And I thought I'll dedicate this video today to John, because it's all about attractive female game characters in video games. And I wouldn't even just stop right there about the facial quality, because when it comes to attractive women, and I should know a thing or two about that, it's the overall package. Wouldn't you agree, ladies? I think that deafening silence means yes, they do agree.
The following program contains naughty bits. But before each naughty bit comes on the screen, you'll hear this warning sound. Woke! Woke! Hotter than this! And more exciting than this.
That is outrageous.
Sexualized her completely, basically.
That's so not on.
Thames Television brings you
Cum on your face. What cleanses you of wokeness?
Gamers overwhelmingly vote for attractive lead characters in new CI games poll. But is the AAA gaming industry listening? No, they're not, because quite simply, they think if you put an attractive woman in a video game, it's going to encourage gooner behavior. It might set the mindset off of people who play these games to think, oh, if I go out into the real world, I might be able to treat women in the same way like I do in my video games. Which of course we know is not true. That's absolutely insane. And while it's funny, why would you think that? It's the same as if you were playing Call of Duty and you thought, hey, you know what? I could buy myself a prop weapon and go around and do naughty things in the supermarket, because you'll get your ass arrested by the police in a few seconds, bub. So don't even think about it. So look, we've got Kay Vez. I can't believe it's 2025 and I'm now mentioning Star Wars Outlaws and their abomination of an abominable not so Snow White snowman called Kay Vez. Again, look at the lead actress, and this is what they turned her into.
Sarcastic. Brooklyn follows her.
Why aren't more people encouraging? Like me.
I don't care if Humbly Gonzalez is an activist and she goes by pronouns. That has nothing to do with me. Jane Fonda, back in her day in the 70s, she was a pro-activist, but that was peak and prime Jane Fonda, right? In films like Clute, she looked absolutely stunning. Obviously, the years have ravaged her in more ways than one. But getting back to this again, Marek Tymiński of CI Games, this guy's been quite funny actually, has sparked yet another outrage in the gaming world. This time taking aim and a pot shot or two at what many are calling the uglification of gaming characters in AAA titles with a new poll. Not the poll that my girls dance on, but that's another story for another time. Tymiński issued the question on X, asking gamers, should lead video game characters be widely considered attractive, aspirational by the vast majority of players? And this is what the poll result showed in the end. 84% said yes, while the others were a bit mixed, but we don't care about the runner-up votes, do we? And it's rather funny. People who say they don't care, I guess, are the feminists, the lefties, people who seek over-zealoted Christian values, if you want to phrase it that way. And yes, I'm having a little dig at Christianity because some of that religion is okay if you go for that sort of thing, but I think Catholics are more based, to be honest. The new poll drew significant attention, garnering over 11,000 votes. And what's funny about Marek Tymiński, he also made a post last week about how his company has multiple genders in his workforce. And I questioned it saying, dude, why are there multiple genders? It's just male and female. If you want to specify that, just say we've got a huge workforce made up of maybe this percentage of men and that percentage of women. There's no other gender in there, dude. Unless you're working with a weird workforce who thinks they're not a man or a woman, and in which case, what the hell are they doing in the real world? Go see a shrink. The uglification debate, because we need to have a mass debate, folks, about this very topic. The poll addresses a growing frustration among gamers, yep, namely me, about the apparent trend in AAA gaming to make characters, particularly the female ones, the biological female ones, conventionally attractive. Critics argue that many studios are deliberately downplaying traditionally feminine and feline features, or giving characters overtly masculine traits such as, wait for it, pronounced jawlines and angular features. If you look at Joanna Dark, not the version behind me if you can see her, but I might dig it out much later on. No, the new version for Perfect Dark, which at this stage should be called Perfect Fart. That's exactly what it is. And again, Kyle, a guy I've been following for the last couple of years, was saying this shit before it became fashionable. I guess he was regarded as someone who was a bit of a conspiracy theorist that nobody was really paying attention to, and they thought this guy's just talking out of his own echo chamber. Turns out he was correct all along, and I saw that as well, and I thought, God, you know what? I need to be like that guy, but with more bigger boobies and more bigger bums. And here's an example. Once I would have said it does not matter, but then DEI turned female characters into masculine blobs and nightmare fuel. So yeah, have attractive female characters and make them very feminine. Don't give them any uglifications that the West tends to do. And if you have a look here, folks, I mean, I've talked about some of these ladies before. Stephanie Taylor-Jones, this is the Mary Jane Watson we should have had in the Spider-Man game, number 2, but she ended up being that god-awful self-insert writer with a jutting chin. Hannah Hoekstra was the original, and still is, Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, who's now Horizon Zero Blob. And then Alex Zedra is the Modern Warfare remake chick Mara, and she just looks absolutely hideous. How do you give such a beautiful actress like her a jutting chin like that? And this is Activision. Activision, who you think wouldn't be bowing down to this nonsense, clearly are, because you know now they are owned by Microsoft, and Microsoft obviously has tidings and dealings with BlackRock, Vanguard and Larry Fink. So I guess you're being held hostage by money embedded in your shares, Microsoft. And what are you doing about it? Nothing. You need it, even though ironically you don't need the money. You're making enough buck off your other products, right? But then again, who likes Windows 11? I'm still Mr. Days of Windows 7 and Windows 10. What a debate. I mean, see what I mean? This is the Hannah Hoekstra original Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, and then it turned into a massive fat blob afterwards, which is such a shame. Which is why I say, folks, I made that video yesterday about buy Asian games, because honestly, I think East Asia other parts of it. You know, I wonder if Malaysia has a video game division out there. It probably does, and I might be waxing lyrically stupid at the moment and don't realize that. But if they do or if they don't, they should probably think about getting in and making some money from video games. And I've always said as well, now you guys might not agree with this opinion, but if Saudi Arabia, can you imagine if that country, especially the UAE, decided to venture into video games and they gave us a Star Wars game with a Princess Leia of Arabia? Can you imagine what that would look like? Well, just to allay your fears, folks, here's a AI I created just before this video. Oh my word. So you see what I mean, folks? With a little bit of imagination, you can just put your mind at ease and create anything you want to. But anything I want to do right now is to shovel pancakes down my throat, edit these videos, look at these goontastic women all over again, because people like John De La Rose are hugely jealous of people like Smash JT, who has that silver play button in the background. And I absolutely love the tormenting and the seething that this guy cannot cope with. But on that one, folks, if you were me and if I were you, you should perhaps return for the next video.
Tune in next time, Space Freaks, and hear your doobry go ping in the next gripping installment of
Kung Fu Hot Dog.